Paul Nabraga. I both produced and I played Vic.
Just Vic, yes, thank you.
Nick Hermes, I'm the co-writer.
Anybody have any questions?
Who's the writer? You said that's the co-writer.
The other guy is John Selvage. He was not able to make it here, but we wrote it in tandem. He just couldn't make the trip.
Okay.
He's the real talent.
Yes.
Where did you come up with the idea? Where did it come from? And how long did it take to write it?
Well, second question first. It took about, what, a year? A year to write it?
It took us maybe 3 months to come up with the idea, just kicking around, should we do a procedural, should we do a detective show. But to actually write, it took you did the first draft, it took you about a month. It was pretty quick. And then to get it to where we were able to film, it was 6 months.
And he said, hey, you want to play detective? But when I read it, I thought, wow, this guy is, he can be what I make of him to some degree. Because we didn't form it completely yet. I mean, these guys had, the writing, of course, is absolutely brilliant, I think. So I was immediately attracted to that. And that informs you as how you would go about playing the character. Excuse me. But because he lives in the modern day, he only thinks he's from the 40s and he's Sam Spade or Philip Marlowe, but he's kind of a dork, and I thought, okay, I can do dork. It's unfortunately a large part of my personality, so I thought I'll just bring that and we'll see what happens. And what was cool is we found this together, Peter and I, because we shot what we call now a prequel. We did a camera test, and then we said, let's go out and shoot around town. Let's just steal some shots of these great, the old courthouse and the bridge across Los Angeles Street and stuff like that. And then just there's something about putting on a uniform, putting on a hat, putting on a character. I don't remember who said it, but somebody said you put on the mask and you can tell the truth. And so I put on the hat, I put on that ridiculously hot, heavy suit, because we shot in August.
A thrift store.
Yeah.
$6 for that whole thing.
Yeah. And it looks like it. But, it becomes, it just sort of keeps informing you as an actor, and you start to see, you say a few things, you start playing around. And when we shot this little prequel piece, and Pete colorized it and edited it, I thought, man, this is good. And then that was a launching point to delve deeper into the character where we did the actual pilot.
I think the hat really kind of got the...
Yeah. The man in the hat. Did you have a question?
Yeah, my question was actually, because you guys were able to film it in such a short amount of time, how much time did you spend figuring out logistics or storyboarding or figuring out, in order to shoot it that quickly, I'm assuming that you really put a lot of time into
Pre-production?
Yeah.
Yeah, we probably did 6 to 7 months of pre-production. We had a couple of production managers that were sort of dealing with the SAG element of it, and we were location scouting. We went through several to get the Bear Gallery, which is basically a warehouse. I mean, it's not a fan. We wanted to kind of go with the shabby chic for the newly Bear Gallery. It took us a long time to just find a space that we could run power to, and that wasn't going to charge us a whole lot of money. So you go through that process of location scouting, buying the wardrobes, the casting. I mean, it does take a long time, and then I really don't storyboard a whole lot. I'll do a very minor shot list, but because I'm also a cinematographer and then I'm also directing, I don't need it. I know what I want. And usually for something like this, it's literally like, I need a wide, I need a single, and I need a single. And maybe we'll get something extra over here at the end. So there's not a whole lot of let's draw out how it's going to look, because I already kind of know what I want in the end. So.
Can I piggyback on that?
Please.
Actually, also we brought a couple of the actors over to my apartment and read through their parts in the script, but there was really no rehearsal process. And because I knew Joel Murray from a show I did years ago, and I did a pilot a couple years ago with Rance Howard, I was able to bring these guys on, but because they work all the time, we couldn't really bring them in and not pay them to rehearse. So Joel and I actually got together for the very first time on set the day we shot all this. And we would just, sit in the back and run lines a little bit. But he's so good, and he does a lot of improv. I've done a lot of improv. We're like, let's make it organic. And because we felt like we knew the character, the story, and what we were going to do, we said, let's just shoot it and see how it goes. The pre-production was all those logistical things, of course, but in terms of rehearsal and things like that, character development, that was really between us, and then we just went on the day.
And then it took 8 months to fix all of that. In editing. No, I'm just kidding. No, that's exactly right. We didn't have time or money to do rehearsals, proper rehearsals. I would take phone calls with Rance, talk about the character, but until they showed on set, it was literally the first time that they were reading together. But the post process took as long, if not a little bit longer, than the pre-production process. When you stitch the thing together and you figure out, how is this working? Is it working? How do we fake it to work if it's not? That process takes a long time. And then you get it locked. And plus, we've got several people that have to okay it, and that takes a little bit of time. And finally, you lock it. And then it goes to color grading and